Let us have a modicum of patience for the richness and complexity of humanity. The wanton cruelty of the
Looking for me? I'm glad. I wanted to thank you for helping me keep my promise to Klee. She had a splendid time in the bubble. Nicole came with us to make sure all was in order and prevent any similar incidents from happening in the future. You live and you learn. It's rare, but even the Dodo King isn't immune to a small slip-up here and there, I suppose.
So, it's all fixed?
Yes, quite. The recording work is done as well, so now all we have to do is play it on loop. It should be smooth sailing from here on out. Anyone and everyone can now enjoy the bubble at their leisure. Nicole will keep an eye on them, of course. I wouldn't put it quite like that. It was more like a fate that will not come to pass.
Huh? What's the difference between the two?
Let us not forget the courageous dragon slayer in the story. Well, in real life, he had already left on an expedition to Nodcry at that time. Of course, that doesn't mean Dvalin would have escaped his destined death, for another hero would have come along and paid a painful price for victory.
But what we saw in the bubble was what happened after Dvalin broke free from the seal. So, couldn't Varka have been back by then?
Dear Paimon, you're free to ponder such questions yourself, of course, but it's of little use to ask them aloud. Word to the wise, do not lose sleep over all those what-ifs, over the fates that will not come to pass. It's an exercise in futility. Those who can observe fate see both the good and the bad of what could have happened. But all that matters is what did happen. Those alternate fates are nowhere near as important as the world that exists in the here and now.
All right.
Ah, you're saying it was as if the bubble itself had become contaminated. I suppose some gunk could have stuck to my luggage while I was wandering the border and got mixed into my magic without me noticing. Just kidding. I would never be so careless. Your intuition is spot on, Traveler. What developed in the bubble was a nascent form of abyssal power that, if left unchecked, would evolve into the real thing.
What? So it didn't come from outside? It just appeared out of thin air?
The abyss is perilous, cunning, dangerous, obsessive, and most infuriating of all, a complete and utter mystery. I'm sure you've seen for yourself how complex it can be. The Hexen Circle has been observing its energies for a long time, and I think Barbalot's interpretation is the most accurate. The essence of the abyss lies in the hatred carried by all the fates that will not come to pass. This world is filled with conflicting elements. That one thing should happen signifies that a different possibility has been eliminated. These events can be small, almost trivial. I had Sweet Madame for lunch today, for instance. That means the Alice who chose tea break pancakes instead is no more. Of course, they can also be events that threaten the world, such as my friend Rhindotter's decision to tap into the abyss. In that instant, the tale of a future in which she remained pure was gone forever. So then, the question at the heart of it all is this. Why must these fates be the ones to disappear?
Paimon gets it. It's hatred that stems from not being chosen.
Precisely. The magic we wove this time involved recreating the past. However, some of the variables we added allowed a certain amount of these unchosen fates to come very, very close to reality. And thus, the abyss showed its teeth. Of course, much like always, it is not existence that it seeks, but the destruction of all. In the end, though, it wasn't a huge issue. Things like this happen on the border all the time. It has quite the victim complex, that's for sure. It's obsessed with entering this world at all costs. And that is precisely why we must protect our lives and those of our loved ones. Because when you think about it, to exist in this world is to be a spark of luck amidst countless possibilities. How precious is that?
Ah, Alice, you're here. I'm truly sorry about this, but per the regulations of the Knights of Favonius, I'm afraid I must send you to confinement.
Whatever for? Things turned out just fine with the magic bubble. Besides, if that's what this is about, shouldn't Nicole come along too?
It's not about the bubble. We received word that a number of fish have been injured as a result of explosions near Starfell Lake. As I'm sure you're well aware, fish blasting is strictly prohibited.
Oh dear. Run, Clee! Save yourself!
She's already inside.
Oh.
Guess it's a day of first for the Dodo King, huh?
Oh, farewell, forever traveler. You shall never see me again.
Such a succulent fragrance of grapes. Ah, this place is heaven. Had I a mouth that could move, I doubt I could resist eating them right off the vine.
This is awesome.
Whoever lives in here must be a person of means indeed. Even in a storybook world like Simulanka, we could never afford such a big estate.
Wait, but this is a world inside a story too, isn't it? Oh, hello! Is something wrong?
My apologies, but the event taking place at Dawn Winery is not open to the public quite yet. Allow me to show you around a different area.
Ah, I see. That's unfortunate.
Oh, it's Noelle! Hey there! Oh, hello, you two. Well, Miss Alice thought things might get complicated around here, so she said she needed someone capable who could get the job done. So she flattered her way into dumping a bunch of work on you? Stuff that isn't even related to the Knights at all? Oh, no. Mr. DeLuke was there too. He said he would appreciate some help guiding the tour groups from different worlds that are here to visit. Tour groups from different worlds? Oh, right! The Golden Apple Archipelago, the Relurian Mirage, Simulanka. The gang's all here! Oh, it's all right. I'm happy to help. Please head this way, everyone, and we'll get the tour started.
Greetings. My name is Ask Me for Directions Arnold, and I am searching for the whereabouts of a certain lovely lady.
heard this thing was terribly ineffective when first invented. You could only catch 10 in a week. Why, the research staff barely wanted to touch it, let alone improve it.
But for some reason, it gained traction among adventurers once it entered the market.
True, it takes time. It beats having to do it yourself, I suppose.
But there are so many crystal flies around here. Surely it's not that difficult to just do it the old-fashioned way?
It's a bit far, though. Just imagine how tiresome it was back in the day, having to come out here over and over again, and no gadget to help. Does that count as trespassing on private property, I wonder?
I suppose it hardly matters anymore. Adventurers aren't quite so keen on crystal flies nowadays.
The times they are a-changin', eh?
So it would seem.
What are they mumbling about?
There you are. I've been looking everywhere for you.
Another tent? Huh. This one's kinda nostalgic too.
It's here because I refused to let that mage use my house as her playground. But we still needed an additional rest area for the guests, so we set up this tent instead.
Huh. Looks like we can use this device to keep in touch with the mages or get some hints. Kinda like we were able to do back then, remember?
Now that you mention it, the arrangement is almost identical.
Nights on vacation, summer, the sea, and a small little wave rider. It's all taking me back.
However, you're forgetting about the part where we were stranded on a deserted island and couldn't even make it across the water. That's what stuck with me the most.
Oh, I remember. At least I wasn't dead weight in that situation.
Fun times, huh? So, the mages prepared this stuff then. Guess we should take a picture and go check in with them.
Be my guest.
You know, the expedition in Nodcry is coming to an end, but knowing Grandmaster Varka, I imagine there will be another chance to set off in the near future. Not that I'm extending an invitation, I'm just mentioning the possibility, that's all. That's our honorary knight. No matter the mission, you always have a place among our ranks.
Come talk to me when you do have an official invitation, then. I have other things to do in the meantime. The intel I have on hand is pulling me in 100 different directions, but unfortunately, time off isn't one of them.
That's a shame. I take vacation whenever I can get it, and it's still never enough. I'd visit the Golden Apple Archipelago again in a heartbeat.
For once, I feel the same.
Oh, no. I was just looking for a piece of alchemy equipment we needed for the event. Master Albedo has always been careful with our costs. We maximize the use of every piece of lab equipment we have. So if something hasn't been used in a while, it's usually pretty old. Take this, for example. We've used it a few times before, but we found the effectiveness and ease of use somewhat lacking, so it was sidelined quite quickly. According to the mages, it was meant to be placed in the city, but it went missing after being tossed into the magic bubble. Luckily, I found it. I just don't know why it ended up here of all places.
Well, all that matters is that you found it in the end, right? We'll contact Nicole and get her to send it back to the right spot.
Great. Thank you so much.
Definitely not.
Suspicion confirmed. While patrolling the area, I was sure I'd sensed a familiar presence, so I came over to take a look. And sure enough, here you are. If Miss Charlotte were to see you like this, I'm guessing she'd take 100 pictures and write up a report. Sword-wielding traveler's secret side hustle. Exclusive cocktails from Tevat's Explorer Extraordinaire. You'd make the front pages of every major newspaper. And there'd be crowds of Fontanian tourists flocking to your drink stand, causing gridlock on the streets of Mondstadt. Luckily for you, I turned down Miss Charlotte's request to accompany me here. So you're unlikely to be seeing any scenes like that. Let's quietly celebrate this moment of peace. And on that note, I'd like a caramel blaze. That look on your face tells me you have a lot of questions you want to ask. Calm and effortless. I'm shocked to learn you're a real pro at this sort of thing.
Your caramel blaze is ready. Try not to drink it all in one go.
Huh. It sure lives up to its name. The color reminds me of a raging fire, while that aroma really hits you head on. It's quite strong. I'm all right. I just need a little time to get used to it. As I recall, the last time I drank alcohol was at a wine tasting event that Navia invited me to last year. I only had a small sip of Sassica wine, and it was nowhere near as strong as this concoction of yours. From a purely rational perspective, alcohol can cause dizziness and impair one's ability to work, so it's best avoided altogether. But when Miss Farina saw me off at the docks, she mentioned that Mondstadt is the land of wine and poetry. Since I'm here, I thought I should at least try the local specialties. In fact, Captain Eula, whom I sparred with earlier, has quite the refined taste for fine wine. She even gifted me a bottle of Romaritime flower fruit extract, which is no longer produced in Fontaine, and can now only be found overseas. Out of the utmost respect for her skills, I feel compelled to deepen my knowledge of Mondstadt's wines. I truly appreciate all the trouble you're going to. Huh? Does that mean she's already finished her commission? Well, she's certainly efficient. Once I return to Fontaine, perhaps I can let Sigewinne know that I'd be happy to purchase her latest perfume. I'm not sure I'd say that. On my way to Mondstadt, we happened to take the same boat. Naturally, we got to chatting. I've often heard Sigewinne praise her work. After conversing with her on the journey over, I must say, she is indeed a rare and refined individual. She's gentle and composed, yet keeps others at a distance. Perhaps it's due to her profession. I find this approach ideal. It allows one to maintain a lasting sense of inner peace. Oh, thank you, but there's really no need to set anything up. Our work rarely intersects, and our social circles hardly make for a Venn diagram, if you know what I mean. Best to just let things take their natural course. Indeed it is. The knights codenamed Hazelnut 3 and Hazelnut 5 gave me this crest. I must say, it's exquisite. They told me the design has only just been finalized. Apparently, it's only presented to important guests. They said they're making a badge for you, too, but it hasn't been finished yet. You're not wrong. I guess it's similar to how I can't remember the name of every clerk in the Palais Mermonia. But I'm certain you'll get to know them in time. They're clearly seasoned veterans. Even though they work desk jobs, they still turn up in full armor. After handling my affairs, they headed to the tavern for a gathering, saying they wanted to continue last night's duel and determine who had the highest alcohol tolerance. Drinking barrels of beer the night before, yet being able to work with clear minds the next day. Whew. So what you're saying is, while Mondstadters may seem carefree, they actually have an admirable ability to know their limits when it comes to drinking. When I'm working, I often drink coffee. But with meals, I prefer a lighter tasting drink, like Buell fruit juice. Since I eat a lot of meat, The slight acidity of the juice helps balance out the greasiness. Over time, I've grown accustomed to the sour taste. After the swordsmanship exchange, the Knights of Favonius rather kindly treated me to some traditional Mondstadt cuisine. I had 8 different meat dishes, and all of them were excellent. The portions were huge, and only the highest quality cuts were used. Everything was cooked to absolute perfection. Of course, there was still room for improvement. When catering to tourists, the sticky honey roast and pile 'em up might benefit from a slightly lighter sauce. I've certainly tried all the red meat dishes. I think I've had enough calories to sustain 3 days of vigorous work, so I've had to decline all subsequent dining invitations. To be honest, I can still taste the grease. There must be a way to cleanse my palate. I've seen a little. I took a stroll around the city the first day I got here. Navia's done some rather extensive research on this place. Many of the scenes and illustrations for the tabletop troupe were inspired by views of Mondstadt. However, the way she describes the atmosphere in her world building is quite different from the real Mondstadt. The deepest impression I've got since arriving here is one of swords and shields. Perhaps because I've mostly just visited the blacksmith and the training grounds. Recently, the newer weapons and armor produced in Mondstadt have been created using a completely different heat treatment process from those in Fontaine, with a higher carbon content in the surface layer. While this has slightly reduced their overall toughness, their impact resistance has greatly improved. These newer weapons give off a smell like overbrewed coffee. Perhaps it's because that scent gave me such a positive first impression. You see, Fontaine's signature metalwork is often coated with a protective agent that contains marcotte. Over time, the faint fragrance becomes overly sweet. And for some reason, it makes my teeth feel funny. I don't imagine the scent of Mondstadt's swords and shields would cause the same level of irritation. Of course, there is a solution to this problem. The next time you find yourself in Fontaine, there's another protective agent I can recommend. One that's as neutral as water, without any excess fragrance. If you also dislike being bombarded with sweetness, this protective agent should suit you well. Are you already planning the details of our hypothetical get-together? Based on my previous experiences with alcohol, I'd guess my tolerance is similar to Emily's. Fruit liqueur is probably my limit. So when the time comes, I think you'd be best off mixing similar drinks for the both of us. All right, I'll make sure I'm mentally prepared. Even if it's still a bit strong, I'll do my best to finish it.
All right, this new creation is called Leisure Time Lightning, a cocktail made exclusively for champion duelists. Enjoy!
Have you added fruit wine? It tastes wonderful. This is ideal for me. There's a subtle saltiness that combines well with the tartness of the fruit and the sweetness of the caramel. Each sip balances delicately on the edge of perfection. The color of the wine also fits well with the name, and the lightning imagery contrasts with the fiery nature of the caramel glaze. But where does the leisure time part come in? I see. That certainly matches the impression this cocktail gives me. Its unique aroma and taste will hold a special place in my memories of Mondstadt. Do you think, if the chance were to present itself, you'd be interested in mixing drinks somewhere else? A cafe, for instance, or the Hotel de Boer? Mostly for Navia and Miss Farina's sake. Though obviously I'd be more than happy to try more of your masterpieces myself. I understand. I won't try to strong-arm you. In any case, I truly appreciate your hospitality. Thanks to you, whether I'm summarizing the key lessons from my exchange with Miss Eula, or discussing strategy with the Knights of Favonius, I'll be in my best condition.
Huh? Is that Miss Honorary Knight? Yippee! It's you! Auntie Eula told Klee that Miss Hertha had found someone amazing to help out. Seeing you here, Miss Honorary Knight, Klee knows this must be the best drink stand in all of Teyvat. You mean this stand isn't already the best? Well, out of all the drink stands Klee's ever visited, Miss Honorary Knight's is easily the best. And no matter what drinks Miss Honorary Knight makes, Klee will definitely think they're yummy. Oh, you want me to be mean? But Klee could never be mean to you. Let me think. I know! I'll pretend to be Albedo! Whenever Albedo reviews Timaeus' work, his face goes super serious, and Klee can hear every word he says. Get ready for Klee's super amazing order! These past few days, I've been having such a blast with Mom all day long! It's been so much fun! Even being sent to solitary confinement couldn't wipe the smile off my face. So, Klee wants to order a fair weather frolic. Anything like a bright sunny day will definitely put Klee in a super duper mood. I wonder what it'll taste like.
Your fair weather frolic is here. Go on, give it a try.
Wow! So, a fair weather frolic is this color? Purple sky. Is it supposed to be a bright, shiny night? Klee will take a sip first. Then you can think about it more carefully. Ah, finished! Yummy! Both sweet and sour. If Klee drank this while eating grilled fish, I could definitely gobble down 2, or 3, or 4, or even 5! But one drink isn't enough. Klee wants to try a drink that tastes like cake. Klee doesn't know what drink to choose. Why don't we decide together, Miss Honorary Knight? Three square meals? Klee often eats 5. Adventuring takes a lot of energy, and if I eat too much at once, I can't run so well. So, it's better to eat lots of smaller meals. Albedo used to prepare all Klee's meals, and my lunchbox was always arranged so neatly, just like a pretty painting. When Albedo's busy at Dragonspine, Klee goes to eat with the other Knights of Favonius. Kaya's camp is usually the neatest, while Amber sometimes camps in the trees. It's so much fun. Oh, and Auntie Hertha makes the best food. When my mom comes back, there'll be even more yummy food to eat. There's this one dish where she takes loads of different fish and makes them into little pudding cubes. It's called rainbow fish jelly. Her Chocogo Crunchy Slices are fantastic too. It's her newest creation made with chocolate and cookies. They're a little bitter, but they're crunchy. They smell scrumptious, and they have a really sweet aftertaste. Whenever I eat them, I feel so full of energy. Next time, Clee will have to bring some. Yeah, when Clee gets back home, I'm gonna eat some salted nuts while reading my book. Clee used to eat cake after dinner, but Master Jean said it's too sugary, and it's not good to eat sugary things before bed. Apparently, it makes you chubby and gives you toothaches. So, Mom got some advice from Auntie Barbie, and now she gives me nuts instead. She says they help my brain remember things better. Nuts don't have much flavor. It's like chewing on grass, but they're okay if you add a little salt. This stuff? Mom taught me how to make it using the alchemy bench. A dash of sugar, then a lot more sugar, then some flowers from Mom's friend in Fontaine, star honey from Auntie Barbie, and finally, some magical jam from Auntie Tavia. Put everything together on the alchemy table, wish for the shape you want, then recite Mom's incantation, and poof! Todoko-shaped candy! Clee can give you some Dodoko candy too if you want. And if you really like them, I can even teach you my mom's incantation. That way, you could make your own candy whenever you want. If you get stuck, remember to come ask Clee. When it comes to magical candy, I'm an expert. Yeah, Mom gave me an amazing book recently. She said I have to read one chapter every night, learn something useful, and then go to bed early. That book taught Clee how to make something called propellant. Now Jumpy Dumpty can go Fwah! And bounce even higher. It's not hard at all. In fact, it's a lot like making bombs. You just have to be careful when trimming it down. It's like sharpening a pencil that could suddenly go boom. Bedtime's an important part of Clee's schedule, too. Mom sits by my side and tells me all kinds of wonderful stories. She has a lamp made of gemstones, and when she turns it on, it goes kabling and lights up the ceiling. Yeah, when something happens in the story, the lights on the ceiling make pretty pictures. Sometimes Mom falls asleep before the story ends, so Clee has to tuck her in instead. As soon as Clee learns how to use the lamp, I can come tell you stories, Miss Honorary Knight. Clee has memorized so many wonderful stories, enough to make everyone happy every day. yeah, Klee still wants to eat sweet things, like cake, for example. Maybe we could just go easy on the cream? Or add more fruit? Oh, right! That friend of Mom's who's always wearing glasses gave her a big bag of Fontanian Buell fruit. They're so round and rolly. Klee ate a whole bunch of those, and they were super sweet. But Master Jean said it was okay, because sweet fruit isn't the same as sweet sugar. So if Klee really has to eat nuts, maybe I can just soak them in some fruit juice first? Yeah, that was quick. Klee's looking forward to finding out how tasty your next concoction is.
Ta-da! It's done! I just know you're gonna love this new creation.
Wow! There's Dodoco candy on top! There's so much orange in this cup, and Dodoco looks like he's lying on top of white fluffy clouds. And the weather inside looks much better, too. Yummy! It's so delicious! Klee has to drink slowly. I can't just gulp it down, or I'll miss all the yummy flavor. Miss Honorary Knight, this is amazing! It's like you mixed sunshine with juice. Klee was so tired from playing, but now I feel refreshed. And warm. And peaceful. Ooh. You're the best, Miss Honorary Knight. Really? Let me think. When the weather's nice and Dodoco's happy, Dodoco will want to sing, right? And when Dodoco sings, Klee wants to sing too. So, let's call it Dodoco's Duet. Thank you! And thanks for making such a yummy drink for Klee. Klee's gonna go tell Mom that the best drink in Mondstadt right now is Dodoco's Duet. Klee's gonna write down Mom's incantation and give you a copy, Miss Honorary Knight. Then you should learn magic too, so you can make all
all the candies you want. See you next time!
So Hertha's even roped our honorary knight into helping with this little venture. Now that I'm finally free to relax, it's time to start doing just that. Can't wait to see your skills in action. Give me something that goes well with casual conversation, but still packs a punch. Of course they don't clash. A drink that packs a punch means you have to drink it slowly. And if you want to chat, then it has to go down smooth. So, something with a sweet aftertaste. A conversational connoisseur requires the perfect balance. The most suitable choice on this menu would be the Thorny Lake. It's a drink with a real kick that you can find in almost every bar. It's not enough to know the recipe, though. The key is in the mixing. Some bartenders choose to stick to the tried and tested basics, while others like to add their own personal flair. That's the spirit. Now, show me what you've got.
Grandmaster, I hereby present you with this Thorny Lake for your enjoyment and assessment.
Well, the color and aroma are certainly on point. But as for the balance of flavors, I'll just have to taste it and find out. Not bad. You haven't overdone or skimped on any single ingredient. Though, unfortunately, it's a little too, polite for my tastes. Perhaps I should have said modest. You followed the formula to a T, but if anything, you've played it a little too safe. Were you worried that deviating just a little might disappoint me? Hey, we fought side by side and dealt with things that even gods were loath to meddle with. Ours is a friendship forged in the margins between life and death. That said, if you ask me, you can ditch the nerves and work your mixologist magic. I'm looking for something that shocks the senses. Mull it over. There's no rush. We can chat while you think. Who knows? You might just find some inspiration to mix in with your magic. Pretty awesome, huh? It's like a hammerhead that you can fill with wine when you're not using it to pound in nails. It was a gift. Hoffman came up with the idea, Charles supplied the design, Wagner helped cast it, and about 10 or so knights chipped in to pay for the materials. They've been waiting to have a good drink with me, and this is my crucial weapon to aid me in a fair duel with them all. I'm the Grand Master, after all. I've been drinking a lot longer than them. I've practiced more assiduously, and I have a bit more, meat to absorb the blows. So it's only fair to my subordinates that I drink a teensy bit more per round. Wouldn't you agree? Of course, some of them have been training as long as I have, and those ones won't be getting any special treatment. Take Hazelnut 3 and Hazelnut 5, for example. Both were skilled warriors who helped me deal with Eric back in the day. Nowadays, I have them helping Jean with miscellaneous duties. At today's after-work cooldown, they insisted on trying to keep pace. In the end, they lost our game of darts and ended up passed out on the floor. I've already told Jean that I won't be approving their leave request for tomorrow, no matter what. Well, let me think. I guess you could say it lacks impact. Even when following the same recipe, the techniques used to mix different ingredients can affect the taste. Sometimes, deliberately creating layers between spirits can bring out the different waves as each one hits the taste buds in sequence. In this regard, too, you've taken quite a tentative approach. Why not be a little bolder? Ha ha ha, you catch on quickly. No need to explain further. Ha! I like your style. Speaking of this garden, it brings back memories of something that happened many years ago. When I was young, I like to find ruined guards to test my fighting skills, both armed and unarmed. Once, I failed to take down a stray missile, and it ended up destroying a watchtower on the city walls. As punishment, I had to run 50 laps around the city, repair the watchtower, and help rebuild the shattered walls in this garden. Indeed, among the misadventures of my youth, this is one of the most memorable ones. Mostly because that day, Krepus saw me covered in dirt. He took 2 bottles of 100-year-old wine and sent D-Luke, who looked even younger than Mika does today, to work out a clever way to get rid of Faru, who was guarding me. It was so hot that day, I could swear I was about to pass out. On a whim, I picked some mint leaves, put them in one of the wine bottles, and the result turned out to be surprisingly tasty. After Krepus tried it too, he was full of praise. He even wrote up an official recipe for my spontaneous creation. His customers loved it. Several summers passed, and Krepus kept writing letters about giving me a share of the profits, as though I could possibly accept. Yes, good old Krepus. Faru retired years ago, but he still gives me a stern stare every time we meet. He's a stubborn one. D-Luke, who replaced him, and then Kaya, who took over later, both performed impeccably. Changing times will always belong to the youth. He should have admitted defeat long ago. When I get the chance, I'll have Kaya show him the amazing progress the cavalry company has made. It's a treasured place that the Knights of Favonius have maintained for years. So it makes sense that it's become the go-to location for organizing such things. I heard that while the expedition was underway, you were a great help in giving those left behind the opportunity to put their energy to good use. Sometimes, I look through the photos I've been given from those events. Though unfortunately, there aren't enough to include everybody. My conclusion is that Mondstadt needs to do more to popularize the camera. If I were in charge of organizing events, well, I suppose everyone would revolve around fine wine, or at the very least, there would be some sort of tasting involved. For example, we could go all in on this drink stand and open it to the whole city, with every company of the Knights selecting one or more mixologists to compete against each other. It's only a thought. Can't let things get too out of hand. If I were to actually throw a grand banquet, Jean would come after me with her sword drawn. Even Frederica would launch a punitive expedition. While in Nodcry, we had a rule that knights must never get drunk while at their posts. Otherwise, it could lead to dereliction of duty with serious consequences. Exactly. As expedition members return to their companies, my hope is that this rule will gradually spread to everyone in Mondstadt too. Just like firewater and smetana, these Nodcry delicacies have made their way into Mondstadt's households and become part of people's daily lives. Young people need to learn restraint. At the end of the day, no one should be biting off more than they can chew. Unless it's someone near my level, they shouldn't even be thinking about enjoying a light buzz when they've still got work to do. Most people would just end up a whole lot drunker than they'd like. You should come practice with me on weekends. Trust me, once I've drunk them under the table, they'll be swearing off wine for a whole week. Huh? Oh, feel free. Whatever you're about to do, I've got a feeling I've hit the jackpot.
Here you go, Grandmaster. A cocktail just for you. I guarantee you won't find this one too polite.
Such a spirited drink. How did you make this? What a burning scent of firewater. Oh, it's as if the very air were about to ignite. This is more like it. Perfection. It's clear that once you let go of your inhibitions, your talents really shine through. That first hint of mint is like a cooling feint that masks the firewater underneath. By the time the sweetness dissipates, the firewater has already slipped in behind your guard, ready to deliver a powerful strike of intense flavor. Oh, it's exactly the impact I was hoping for. That's the most ingenious part. Firewater's greatest flaw is a lack of aftertaste, but the Smetana perfectly maintains the flavor at the peak of its intensity. It's hard to imagine something this good was created by a mixologist who doesn't even drink firewater. I think it has the potential to become a firm favorite in Mondstadt and Nodcry. Iron Wolf. Oh, perfect. It's elegant, yet wild. Only you could come up with such a fitting name. Oh, I have an idea. Why don't we name our Knights of Favonius' drink stand after you? Let's call it the Honorary Knights Cocktail Shack. No time to waste. I'll go have a word with Glenfiddich right away.
Hey there, traveler! All wrapped up for the day? Paimon hears you did a great job holding down the fort while she was out delivering drinks with Glenfiddich.
Whatever the reason, the Honorary Knight is clearly one of the most talented mixologists in Mondstadt. Considering how short a time she's been doing this, I believe that someday she has the potential to give the legendary bartender at the Cat's Tail a run for her money.
I fully support your decision, Grandmaster. The Honorary Knight has really put in the hard yards. The drink stand will remain open for a little while longer to provide a proper welcome to our returning expedition members. Then, once we locate suitable premises, we also plan to look at operating a permanent service.
Hooray! Everyone in the Knights of Favonius will get to drink all the delicious cocktails they like!
Nothing short of what I'd expect from a true disciple of Hertha. You've really considered this thoroughly, Glenfiddich.
Also, if I may, Honorary Knight, regarding the special cocktails you've developed, would you mind leaving the recipes with us? We'd like to add them to the official menu.
Paimon feels like there's something you still want to say. Let Paimon have a guess. Based on your personality, you probably want to introduce the origin of each different cocktail. That way, customers will know who inspired you to create these amazing drinks.
No problem at all. If you need, I can even have someone draft the paperwork on your behalf to secure you the rights to these new recipes.
I hope when we recruit some new bartenders, they'll be able to learn from your incredible skills. Even if they can't quite match your work, if they could be 2/3 as good, that would still make them industry leaders.
People
Well, Mr. Flint, now we're completely out of options. Who on earth came up with the idea to have Miss İ'NO attend the big meeting at headquarters? It couldn't possibly have been her request, could it?
It was me.
You? Please tell me this is part of some new trick.
It certainly is. When a solitary leaf takes to the breeze, it cannot fail but draw the eye. Yet when a multitude of leaves depart in unison, the singular form can no longer be distinguished. Sharp as ever, I see. Still, I must express my great regret for being unable to participate in such an enlightening assembly.
Be that as it may, Mr. Flint, look at all the autumn leaves in this building. I imagine all of them would love to fly away quickly. I can already imagine all their excuses. Stomach aches, headaches, outstanding assignments, emergency deployments. Nope, they've used up all the excuses and left none for me. I mean, good heavens. We once had 20 Ratniki down with stomach aches, 15 who hurt their legs in a fall, 6 struck by fevers, and 8 with urgent matters to attend to. If an outsider saw this, they'd think our headquarters had been raided by the Wild Hunt.
In all fairness to them, if this place were genuinely to face a sudden incursion of the Wild Hunt, I am confident that they'd be here in full force.
Very funny, sir, but I have no intention of attending a meeting with the Wild Hunt.
And neither do I. Yet, as we both know, the Wild Hunt seem to have a special fondness for playing the part of uninvited guests.
Anyhow, I'm usually the only one left in the entire meeting room. And then, I still have to deliver the meeting minutes to the absentees after it's done.
Then I must extend my sincere gratitude for your efforts.
Could you come by yourself next time, then?
As I said before, such frustrations likewise possess an uncanny propensity to show up without invitation.
When can this poor leaf finally drift away?
No need to drift away completely. Just a little further than the nearest leaf.
Thank you, but I'm the leaf nearest to you, aren't I?
Rest assured, young master, we'll all make landfall together. Besides, I'm inclined to believe that no autumn leaf ever falls where it shouldn't.
All right, let me think. My stomach doesn't hurt. My legs are fine, I don't have a fever, and I've no urgent matters to attend to.
Sounds like you're doing pretty well then, all in all.
Any updates on the commission from last time? Should be done just about now, right?
Apologies, Mr. Varka. The wine merchants from Mondstadt say they'll need more time to prepare. Also, they have asked me to pass this message on to you. Have you seriously finished the last batch? That cart was huge.
Well, it's not like I'm the only one drinking. That amount of wine is barely enough for 2 banquets. We'll need more. Come on. I timed this down to the second. The Dawn Winery should be reopening the cellar of dandelion wine right around now. As the Grand Master of the Knights of Favonius in Mondstadt, patronizing their business is but one of my duties. Don't worry, I've left some for them. I didn't clean it all out, or Charles would have nothing to work with. The trouble with long journeys, though, is that wine tends to lose its flavor in the process. Next time I get back, I'll have Charles mix me the strongest drink he's got. Now, who to drink with? Kaya would definitely come if I called. And D-Luke? Well, if I can catch him, I'll have a couple of drinks with him, too. Well, might as well get those two to have a drink together, perhaps. Oh my, fancy meeting you here. Out for a stroll again? Aren't you a busy one these days? Still, running around like this all the time. Remember to take a proper break once in a while, you hear? Swing by my place when you've got a moment. The Knights of Favonius sent over a bunch of stuff again, and there's some for you. Just maybe not right now. I've got to go sort out a little matter with the Lightkeepers. See you next time. Do remember to come pick up that crayon drawing Klee made for you. If only I ran into Flint's today. Could have had a good drink.
Frightened of ghosts. They are merely talking shadows. Goodness, how the world has changed. Might I ask, when did the custom of placing treasure chests in every nook and cranny come into fashion? Not to be sniffed at.
Ready for a rehearsal? Let's play! Think you can get away? Yoo-hoo!
On me.
Wouldn't gliding be faster? Time for takeoff.
Devouring claw!
Element?
Here we go. Let me sleep for a while.
Stay away from me!
The show begins! Yahoo! Think you can get away?
Maria sweeping in!
Oh, brilliant! Time to shine! Time for takeoff.
Okay!
Splendid! More interest.
Go get him, Aiden!
So it wasn't a trap after all.
A bitter pill to swallow. Close your eyes. Be silent. You will fear the dark. You got this. Be gone, Shadow of Darkness.
A new moon rises. Surge.
Remember, health comes first. Observe to dust.
Perhaps these treasures might be of utility to you on your journey. Please, I insist. Not to be...
While the light shines bright.
And that's the alchemical transmutation process. What do you think? Would you like to try it yourself?
I still can't remember the formula from just now. If I damage the crafting bench...
For small-scale work like this, failure will only result in the loss of materials. Besides,
Losing materials is an unavoidable part of learning alchemy. Yes. After all, alchemy counts as common sense in this world. Durin happens to be interested in this too. Although the environment here is somewhat rudimentary, it's good enough to teach some basic formulas.
I wrote down all the formulas Albedo taught me. There are so many numbers and symbols, it feels like I'm trudging through mud.
When it comes to learning, how fast you go isn't what matters. What matters most is laying a solid foundation every step of the way. It looks like we've used up most of our materials. For now, let's head back and retrieve some more.
So, the wires go here, then there, then here, and then... Ta-da! All done! See? Super easy peasy, right?
Why on earth am I here at this class? Where's Flint? We agreed to come together. Right. I understand. I've gotten written down. All of it.
Writing it down won't do any good. Last time you said you had it memorized, but today you showed up and forgot everything again. Nefer, confiscate his notebook. You're writing it down from memory now.
What? Wait, let me take one more look.
You have taken multiple looks, but every look is directed somewhere different. I presume that you are attempting to find methods to evade the lesson. Such efforts are futile. All such methods have been rendered ineffective.
But I haven't even said anything.
Your eyes indicate your intent clearly, Mr. İTAUİ. For instance, you placed a partially finished crumb-cake in our workshop stove ahead of time. I hypothesized that your plan was to secretly take it out during the practical class to draw Aino's attention. However, I have already removed that crumb-cake. It can be reheated for consumption after class.
How on earth did you find out?
Mr. Flynn has already executed this method once.
What? Flint's told me he hid his crumb-cake in the cabinet. How come he hid it in the stove, too?
Also, you were carrying a bag of crushed small fish, Mr. İTAUİ. I believe that was an attempt to lure stray cats along the roadside as you walked. You would put the bag under your feet, the kittens would gather around you. Afterwards, you would pick one up and exclaim, "Huh! What a cute kitten!" Upon which Aino's attention would be drawn accordingly. Unfortunately, Mr. Flint has also tried this method before.
Impossible. All small animals are afraid of Flint. They wouldn't dare to get close to him. How in the world?
While he did not lure the small animals here himself, he taught this method to Aino. Subsequently, Aino utilized this method to play with the small animals for an entire afternoon. The lesson for that day had to be canceled. This time, however, I have already fed all the small animals present in the area. Therefore, this method will also be ineffective.
What do you mean you fed all the animals around here? Even the deer and birds?
Affirmative. In order to preserve the learning environment, I have already fed all the small animals located within the vicinity. Every individual has been attended to. As such, please start writing down the circuit diagram we just covered.
Mr. İTAUİ. I apologize for intruding upon your studies. Greetings to you all. Miss Aino, Miss Nefer, Miss Traveler, Paimon.
He's here! The truant is here!
It is with great regret that I find myself unable to attend your enlightening lectures. However, a matter of absolute urgency necessitates both my own departure and Mr. İTAUİ's temporary withdrawal from this gathering.
The same non-negotiable reason has again been invoked. A matter of absolute urgency by order of headquarters.
Such is life, full of non-negotiable frustrations. Indeed, that is why we term them so. for they have a frustrating habit of arriving at the most inopportune of moments, catching us quite off guard. Now, young master, let us be on our way.
Mr. Flint's, none of those tricks you mentioned earlier worked.
I'm very sorry to hear that. I'll make sure to share some new ones with you next time. Just a pity that after what just happened, another one of my best ones is now off the table for the foreseeable future.
Well, guess we're done. Can I eat krumgake now, Nefer?
All right. The lecture has concluded, so I'll go heat up the krumgake. Please give me a moment, Aino.
Yay! Krumgake, krumgake!